Hello everyone, hopefully you don't mind seeing the mic. Quick intro here. Today's video is going to be a flip through of my 2023 reading journal. I just finished updating it for the most part, so that way I can flip through it, share it with you guys. And as we go through it, I want to share with you guys things that just did not work. I'll also do a really quick flip through of my 2022 one. I'll do a quick flip through of that. When I compare certain things, because I was trying to simplify my reading journal this year. There was no simple in this. I started doing a reading journal at the end of 2021 when I started sharing, when I discovered BookTube. I've been a reader all my life, and on and off, honestly. And typically I would read some physical books, but I mostly read on my phone, especially when I was in school. I would read 5 to 6 books a week because was I paying attention in class? No, I was on my phone reading. Since sharing my thoughts, my books, all that stuff on YouTube, my reading has truly gone down. That's okay. It's honestly because I'm taking more time to think about the books that I'm reading. I'm reading books that I enjoy versus just reading to read. Before, I would read a lot of books. I would start reading a book, hate it. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I was sick and it destroyed my throat. And now I can barely speak. It really kills me. But I would read whatever. Didn't care if it had spice, no spice, whatever. I truly would just read and binge and binge and binge. Literally just staying up till 4 in the morning reading a book. Then go to class and just keep reading and zone out. I honestly think it was a terrible coping mechanism for when my mental health wasn't great. But that's something else we can dissect another day. This is just as I'm getting older, I'm realizing things. But the Lord truly does save and just does miracles in our lives. Super long intro to basically say we're gonna chat. I am going to share with you guys later on how I plan on setting up my 2024 reading journal, and there I'll chat about goals and just things that I want to do in the new year regarding books and book content and just books for me in general. And yeah, and I think next year, because this year I didn't have a reading goal. Last year I did of 100. Did not meet it. I think I read 54 books last year. This year we're not getting there. I'll be lucky if I get to 40, and that's okay. But next year I am going to do a reading goal, because my goal, well, we'll chat about that in the next video. So my battery died. But this intro is getting so much longer than I planned on it. But I do plan on doing a 2024 reading journal setup with you guys, sharing you guys all my goals and stuff for the new year, things that I'm changing about my book content and all that stuff, and just different goals, and just sharing it on here because I want to be more accountable for the things that I say I'm going to do. Also, I want to, we'll chat about that. This is where I was going. I started saying too much and then my battery died. It was cutting me off for a reason. I'm going to switch you guys to an overhead so you guys can see my book. I'll share with you guys all the nitty gritty, and then at the end just do a quick flip through if that's all you're here for. I'll leave timestamps down below if you're just here to flip through it. All right, so yeah, let's get into it. Hopefully the color's not too washed out in this. I'll try and do my best when I edit to do this, but this is my journal. It's just one that I've had forever. I bought this at Walmart for $5 years ago, and I'm gonna quickly just flip through 2021 and 2022. So 2021, I started in October, and that's when I started counting. Anything that I did before, I didn't even care. As you can see, free books. I literally would only read free books from the iBooks app. I was very ambitious, thinking I was gonna read a lot, and I did the A to Z challenge, which I enjoy. A little bookshelf. Overview, clearly I never updated anything else, and I was tracking when I would read, which is wild. Free books that I would put here. So then 2022, I got a little more creative and fancy, as you can see. This was my key, my goals. These were my goals, which I'm not going to share too much on those. My word of the year that year was discipline. I don't remember what my word of the year was for this year. I don't know. But these are just some other things. like a year in review, which I actually like this. I took so much more time in 2022 to do my stuff. Here is just the list of books that I read. This was my key, so it's all, organized. And the list goes, on. And then books I have read. This is my bookshelf. The A to Z challenge. I haven't completed it yet, so then I would do a monthly, almost like a bullet journal. I was tracking my Bible reading, my reading in general, exercise, like all these random things that didn't need to be tracked. TBRs, and then what I read with like information. So February, same situation. You can tell when I got sloppy and got over the whole like bullet journal idea. And now 2023. So for 2023, I just kind of did like my logo as the front. My key, goals, which I had a goal of reading 12 faith books, so one every month. Did not complete that. Next year, that is something I'm going to hold myself accountable to do, because I think it's so important to, if I have the time to read all these fun books, I have the time to read a word that's going to help me grow in my relationship with the Lord. I've never updated like my monthly overviews. All the books I've read, I kept it a 2-page spread just in case I did pass the 48 books that I allowed here. But I knew I wouldn't. So currently we're at 39 books, which I still think it's pretty good, considering I don't read every month. So this was 1 month. This was another month. Then we skipped a few months, and then I read like 11 books 1 month. And so I do not read every month. Then all the books I read. And again with like the extended page. Same thing with my bookshelf, which I really like this bookshelf. I think next time what I would do is complete the entire bookshelf first instead of doing it as I go along, because then I don't fill it out. My throat is dying. My top book bracket, which I'll go back and fill out at the end of the year. I know what my favorite book of the year was, so we'll chat about that next year when I talk about all the books that I read. I started doing a DNF graveyard and then never kept up with it. Thought it was a cute concept, just never kept up with it. I've DNF'd more than 2 books. My book bingo, which I don't think I'm going to do next year because I just never kept up with it. I am going to do the A to Z challenge again. I think this is the most that I've completed it. I was doing a Read the Rainbow challenge. I didn't read enough physical books to actually do this. Then I started off doing Oshina's Christian romance challenge, and I have no idea what happened. I just didn't complete it. And I had started a keyword challenge. Didn't complete that either. I actually lost where I found that. I had wrote new releases for 2023 here, books I wanted to reread. I've only read a few of these. So, and then here I just wrote out, see, I feel like this is where I went wrong in my doing this. I would write out each of the books that I read here. Would write them here so I knew what month I read them in. So you see that. And then I would also, at the end, I listed out all the books that I would read and a little description. And I also would post on Instagram every book that I read with a little description. So next year, we're keeping it super simple. I think I'm gonna do this, all the books that I read. And I think that's it, because on Instagram, I do this. I write a little bit about the book, and this is helpful when I do my video at the beginning of the year, all the books that I read, but I can just look at my Instagram stories. So I do have a highlight for my 2023 books. But yeah, so I won't be doing this or this again. But yeah. So that is my reading journal, and I'm just going to do a quick flip through without me chatting, if that's what you want. And yeah. Yeah. Alright, no idea where I put my mini tripod, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you liked this flip through, if you want to see me, I don't know, what were my words going to be? If you want to see how I set up my 2024 reading journal, definitely stay tuned. It'll be coming out within the week. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one.